Hello and welcome to a new segment of the Suburban Prospector, a little something I like to call the Redbox Shuffle. The idea behind this is pretty simple. I just go to a local Redbox, rent a movie at random, and review it as best as I can. There are just a few basic rules that I've set up for myself. First, when I say at random, I just mean that I won't have a specific movie in mind before I get to the machine. Second, unless by request, I won't look at TV shows or children's films. Third, unless I know that I can do a good positive or negative review, or again, by request, I won't rent any movie that I've already seen. Fourth, I'm not going to review any movie that's been done to death, so you'll never see me do a Twilight or a Michael Bay Transformers or something like that, unless I know that I can do something really creative with it. Fifth, I'm going to try to go into each movie knowing as little about it as possible, just like somebody who's gone to the Redbox for a cheap way to kill a couple of hours. Any research that I need to do will be done after the first viewing if possible. With that out of the way, let's get right down to my first selection, Killer Eye: Halloween Haunt. The movie opens with a title card that looks like it was made for a Disney Channel movie, and then we get our credits full of creepy imagery that has absolutely nothing to do with the plot and drastically overestimates the film's scariness. We then cut to a young woman covered in blood being chased around a house by an unseen entity. The idea behind opening with a flashback was probably to build horror and suspense. Too bad it works about as well as anything else in this stupid movie. So we cut to 65 minutes earlier, when our main character is not on screen. Instead, we basically get a more organized version of the credit sequence with the creepy props set up around the house. Atmospheric? We meet the main character, Jenna, who has invited 3 of her girlfriends over to... What? Is that a dead baby crucifix? Yeah, that's what I thought. Sure, why not jump out the gate by offending every Christian or generally decent person watching your schlock? And again, why would any Christian be watching this schlock? Unless, of course, he had an idea for a new segment of his web show and unwittingly started out with the absolute bottom of the Redbox barrel. I might be in over my head here. Anyway, Jenna's friends each have character descriptions about as long as their names. We've got Catalina, the lesbian slut, Rocky, the intelligent slut, and Kiana, the...
When are the boys coming?
Slut.
Oh, right,
The girls think they're over for a party, but Jenna has other plans.
You know how my mom and I make the haunted house every year?
The house that dripped horrors, right?
Yeah, that's us. Yeah, well, anyway, it's pretty much how we pay our bills every year, but there was an emergency, so my mom had to go out of town for the entire week, so there's no way that I could put all these decorations up by myself in time for Halloween.
So you recruited us to do your dirty work?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay, first off, how can one haunted house that only operates around Halloween generate enough income to cover a year's worth of bills? Second, that house looks pretty well decorated to me. A week should be more than enough time for you to put on the finishing touches, even without your 3 friends. The girls start talking about how they plan to spice up the night, and Kiana brings up a missing friend of theirs.
Wait a minute. Where's Giselle?
Oh, right, well, I kinda sorta didn't invite her, you know? I mean, I love her to death, but she doesn't exactly like to get her hands dirty, so I figured we'd get more done without her.
If only the writers had thought the same thing. Jenna gives the girls some Halloween masks to wear while they're decorating because they're easily entertained, I guess. Catalina turns on some music, and Kiana takes off her shirt because she's more comfortable without it. Okay, then? We're then shown a smoky crystal ball that's apparently leering at Kiana. Why is the crystal ball growling at her? I'm serious, this needs an explanation.
My mom's into palm reading, tarot cards, seances, riding brooms, and eating children. Okay, I'm kidding about the brooms and children part of it. Seriously, she's like really into it. Kind of creeps me out.
Okay, well that sort of explains it, but it's still not very clear. They start decorating, but Catalina isn't very impressed with the props.
What's the matter, honey? Too scary for you?
More like too silly. Who would be afraid of this stuff?
That's not funny.
It is, however, representative of this movie's levels of acting and horror. Speaking of horror, isn't there supposed to be some kind of killer eye in this picture? I mean, we're 14 minutes in here and it hasn't even been mentioned yet.
By the way, Jen, don't you think this crystal ball would look perfect in the center of the room?
Whoa, whoa, that's my mom's crystal ball, be careful. Seriously, guys, she loves that thing more than anything. Like, she talks to it all day long, full-on conversations. To be honest, it kind of freaks me out. Like, I feel like it's watching my every move.
And now we're back on the crystal ball, and it still isn't explained very well. Maybe a phone call from Jenna's mom will clear it all up.
You guys, it's me.
What was that?
What was what?
I heard laughter. Is somebody there with you?
No, Mom, nobody's here.
You listen to me, Missy. Nobody better be. I'll find out, you know. I have eyes and ears in that house.
I know, Mom. Nothing escapes the wicked, wondrous gaze of the crystal ball.
You got that right, young lady. The crystal ball tells it all. You didn't touch it, did you?
No, of course not.
It's probably lonely without me.
I'll take good care of it, Mom, I promise.
Something tells me it's best to just give up hoping we'll get an explanation for the ball. I guess it's just haunted. Blah. But Kiana thinks that the ball wouldn't be so creepy if they, quote, got to know it, so she... Holy crap, where is this coming from? Wait a second. Bad writing, no plot, one-dimensional characters, half-decent acting, and random nudity? This is a softcore, isn't it? Well, kind of. This film was actually a spin-off of sorts based on a low-budget 1999 horror film The Killer Eye about a scientist who brings an evil, perverted spirit from another dimension into ours. The spirit inhabits the eye of a dead homeless man and goes around trying to impregnate women so that the world can be invaded by more killer eyes. And how do I know this, you might be wondering? Well, I've never seen that film, but conveniently. The girls find a replica of the eye that includes a DVD of the original movie. Jenna reads off the plot, pops it in her player, and the director pads out his piece of crap sequel with clips of the piece of crap original.
They made a movie out of that thing?
They make movies out of everything. I saw one once where this evil bong sucked people inside of it when you smoked out of it.
Here, I think it would be good to mention that this movie was produced and directed by Charles Band, who also produced the original Killer Eye. Band is probably best known for his work on the Puppet Master series, and also being the founder of Full Moon Pictures, a film studio known for its low-budget horror movies featuring nudity galore, including the Puppet Masters, Killer Eye 1 and 2, and the Evil Bong series. So basically, this sequence is a bit of shameless self-promotion. I'll give him points for subtlety, though. At least they didn't rattle off about the company's history like I just did. So they start the movie, and I kid you not, we get a solid 5 minutes of the girls just sitting around taking jabs at it.
Oh my god, Jacqueline Lovo or something.
Jonathan Norman.
Are you gonna talk through the whole thing?
Maybe.
Okay, this is just insulting. What made Band think that viewers would want to waste their time watching other people make fun of a terrible movie? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my... Who let them in here? Catalina, getting bored with the movie, turns on some music, and she and Kiana start dancing while the crystal ball keeps leering.
That's for you, Jenna.
You tease? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. It's...
Okay.
So, like one of those novelty plasma balls, it starts sparking whenever it's turned on. Ah, okay, so it's inhabited by the spirit of Russ Meyer. Catalina goes upstairs to shower off the drink, while Jenna goes to get her a change of clothes, and the other girls head to the kitchen for more booze. While they're out, the crystal ball seizes the opportunity to bring the eye replica to life. Like I said, I gave up on an explanation 15 minutes ago, so let's move on. Jenna's fourth friend, Giselle, sneaks into the house because she knows the girls are avoiding her. Am I crazy, or is it just plain wasteful to leave all of these gizmos plugged in when there's no reason for them to be on? I don't watch a lot of horror movies, but I'm pretty sure that when your horror movie is half over and your audience's biggest concern is your main character's electric bill, you're doing something wrong. We cut to the eye peeping on Catalina in the shower because Band needs as many excuses for naked girls as he can get.
Hey!
time. What are you doing? Peeping on me, turd?
No, I was just telling you that your clothes are laid out for you.
That couldn't have waited?
Well, maybe I was peeping. Just a little.
Okay, Jenna, that's not very nice. You know she's a lesbian with the hots for pretty much everyone in your group.
You can make Cat's kitty purr any time you want.
I gave up balls a long time ago. But I do love huge, heaving orbs.
Why do you have to exploit her sole character trait like that? Oh right, softcore. Downstairs, Rocky takes a seat and... Okay, more of the original stupid movie? For crying out loud, band, how much padding do you think an audience can take? What, are you trying to generate interest in a re-release? Because, you know, something this masterful surely doesn't deserve to fly under the radar. But there is kind of a point to this detour, because Rocky notices that the eye is missing from its perch, and she starts to get suspicious.
No, just relax. Your lights, hit it with your lights!
Hey, Kiana!
What? Did you do something with the eye?
The killer eye replica!
I don't know nothing about it.
Well, okay, fine.
Get your ass in here and get your booze.
Giselle is caught sneaking, and she confronts the girls about why she was left out of the loop.
Saw cars out front. Looked like a party.
It isn't really a party.
Could have fooled me.
Ah, the library of one-dimensional characters is now complete with the inclusion of the pushy, stuck-up slut.
So, if you want to go upstairs and talk to her, I'm sure she won't mind if you stay.
She better not. Come on, let's go.
Kiana, needing to satisfy her oral fixation, snoops around the kitchen and finds the all-day sucker of the gods. Seriously, she prayed for it and everything.
Dear Molly Gods, please bestow upon me your sweet, bountiful nectar.
But her joy is short-lived because the eye pops out of the box and hypnotizes the poor girl. Though I guess it stopped off for a PB&J first. The eye forces her to strip off and pose to the camera right before it kills her. Ah, you monster. How dare you kill the least interesting character as if it was the only reason she was in this flick. Upstairs, Catalina comes on to Jenna, who lets her down easy.
Not even. But let me know when we're the last two survivors on Earth, okay?
Thanks, tramp.
But the eye has other ideas, and apparently the ability to teleport, since it was just downstairs a few seconds ago, but is now up in the bedroom. Oh, who cares? We have a lesbian scene to shoot! You know, band, maybe it's just me, but it's really hard for your audience to be turned on when every other shot is this disgusting thing. But I guess it would be a bad idea to linger on the sex. I mean, you don't want people to think that you're appealing to the lowest common denominator or something. This is, after all, the flick with the dead baby crucifix. I feel dirty just saying that. Giselle walks in on the girls. Wait, just now? She left to look for Jenna like 6 minutes ago. What, did she get lost? Just how big is this house anyway? Jenna gets dressed and takes Giselle back downstairs, but Catalina decides to stay behind for a little nap. The eye makes its way under the sheets, where it... I really don't feel comfortable showing this particular death scene on my show, so I'm just gonna cut to the end of it and give this character the heartfelt goodbye she so richly deserves.
Another one bites the dust, and another one gone, and another one gone, another one bites the dust, yeah.
Back in the living room, Giselle encounters the eye for the first time, and it dissolves her clothes off. Sure, why not? Rocky finds the hypnotized Giselle and calls up Jenna to see if she can help snap her out of it, but Giselle just, are you ready for this, gets topless and comes on to the other two.
The eye doesn't understand our world. It's still learning, and if we don't do what it wants, it will kill us.
Oh.
The bitch known as Jenna knows how serious this is. And you will too, once you look over there.
Wait, don't stare right into it!
Staring at it, I'm gonna shove this up the ugly thing's butt.
It's an eye, you dummy, it doesn't have a butt! The eye kills Rocky by zapping her. And Jenna runs away to wash off her friend's blood after apparently changing shirts. She's then cornered by Giselle and gives her friend a good slap in the face, something I've been wanting to do for a while, and this somehow snaps her out of the eye's trance.
The replica I got, somehow it's come to life. I don't know how, but it has. And it put you into a trance and it killed Rocky. Don't look at the TV! Giselle!
Wait a second, now the crystal ball can hypnotize him through the eye in the movie? Where is the logic to this thing? Does it just have dominion over all eyes? If that's the case, then why doesn't it just possess the eyes of the girls it's already killed? It can bump off the rest of them so much quicker that way. Jenna slaps the rehypnotized Giselle back into reality and runs upstairs to get Catalina and something of her dad's that she thinks might be helpful. She finds that Catalina is missing from the bed, somehow, but the eye is right there waiting for her. Just how does this little sucker always know right where the girls are going next anyway? Well, it looks like our movie monster read the screenplay. Jenna frantically searches for a welding mask? What the heck is a welding mask supposed to... Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was Deus Ex Machina brand. Back downstairs, Giselle is confronted by... No, movie! There is no possible way or reason for Rocky to be walking around right now. She is dead.
Nothing happened to me in the next room.
No.
The eye wants something.
No.
Don't fight it, Giselle.
No!
Let me go.
Why is this happening? What does this accomplish? How is this moving the story forward?
Jordan, I'm scared.
Oh, come on! Hey, Ben, I have a radical idea for you. How about, instead of confusing your audience, showing off your strippers, and padding out your movie, why don't you try actually telling a story? Jenna makes her way back downstairs, where she finds Rocky staring at the TV. Rather than question why the friend she saw die is now standing right in front of her, she decides to approach the zombie.
Put that down.
Not on your life.
Put it down.
Hey! Get off of me! Stop it!
That's what you get for not thinking, you stupid hussy. Back in the kitchen, Giselle comes to and sees a figure standing in front of her.
Cat? Wakey, wakey. Time to get naked.
Who wrote this? A monkey? The eye gets up manipulating Catalina and tries to attack Giselle, who deflects the beam with her compact and makes a break for it. Jenna wrestles herself away from Rocky and narrowly misses the eye's attack. From here, it's pretty much what we saw in the opening, only it's somehow less scary than it was the first time, which in this movie is saying a lot. So Giselle smashes the eye with a sledgehammer, meaning that her inclusion in the story wasn't entirely pointless. Unless you count the fact that the writers could have easily kept one of the other girls alive and had her destroy the eye, but I guess I'm just nitpicking. The girls walk back to the living room for no good reason and make their way over to the crystal ball. And I'm not kidding you, the movie ends right there. Wow. I mean, I have seen some bad endings in my time, but that was just beautiful. No explanation, no epilogue, no Cliffy, no final jump scare. That was a work of brilliance. I can literally think of no better way to end such a horrible movie. And I mean horrible. The acting is bad, the writing is bad, the characters are flat, there's absolutely no plot, it's about as scary as Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, and a solid 8 minutes of the running time is made up of clips from the first movie. Without the opening and closing credits, the movie itself is only 58 minutes long. The clips from the first movie make up more than 10% of the running time. Unless there's some kind of actual point to having that many clips, which there isn't, by the way, that ridiculous amount of padding is absolutely inexcusable. Bottom line, this is about as worthless as a movie can get. It doesn't even have any camp value because it's not hilariously awful, and there's nothing tongue-in-cheek about it. If Killer Eye Halloween Haunt happens to slither into your local Redbox anytime soon, I beg you, save your money, or at least spend it on a movie that was made with actual effort. I'm the Suburban Prospector, panning for gold in the mainstream.
Pick up my guitar and play.